This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel, back here in Brooklyn, New York at Brooklyn Camper Vans for their block party. I just bumped into Dalia, and she has a really cool custom Ram ProMaster camper van conversion that she's going to give us a tour of, so join us.
Hi Patrick, welcome. This is my Ram ProMaster 136 wheelbase high roof. It's the smaller one because, you know, I'm small, I don't need much room, and I live here in the city, so I'm able to park it really easily. So why don't you come on in and take a look. First of all, I need a little step to get in because it is a big step up. I only swiveled one of my seats. I swiveled the passenger seat, and I can sit here. I can use my Lagoon table and eat here. If I have a passenger with me, we can all hang out. You know, this is my Wabasto heater. It keeps the place really warm. These are vinyl floors, really easy to keep clean, super easy to keep clean. The van, I felt the van needed more lighting, especially when you come in at night and it's dark. So I have just like strips that you can buy at the regular store. Like I said, this is my Lagoon mount table, and underneath, well, and this is where I sit, my little workstation, because I'm a full-time remote worker. And underneath here, I have my fridge and just, you know, some other stuff. Up above, we have up here in the bulkhead, this is where I store like my window coverings. I have a couple of other things up there as well. This is more storage, food. I think it's important to decorate your space. Grace Jones, I love Grace Jones. We have storage here in these drawers. This is where I keep my cleaning supplies, a little bit messy. And something interesting about this, actually, I don't know if you can tell, but sometimes you have a tank that goes and you have to fill up the blue tank. This drills directly into my gray water tank, so I don't have a huge tank that I have to dump. Then also this is my sink. It's a bar sink. You can also use the faucet. Well, actually it didn't turn it on, but you can use the faucet and turn it around to shower off. This is the panel, the power panel. This is for the lights. This is for the Wabasto heater. This is to turn on the inverter. This is so I can check my systems. I have this for storage, you know, stuff that I can grab real quick. Then up here, I have more storage. This is my bed, 6-inch foam mattress. Under here is the garage. There was an option to get drawers. I wanted a door. I'm small, I can go down, go inside. That way, you know, at night, I don't have to leave my van. And then over here, we have the bed, very comfortable. I have 2 reading lights. I got them on Amazon. I put them up there, you know, more lighting. And then this nice, I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but it's good paneling up there. Gives it a really nice homey feel to it. I have my Wabasto fan up here. Ooh, sorry. I cover that up in the winter and just, you know, so that I don't get a lot of light at night and whatnot. And so in here is my bathroom. This is all my bathroom supplies, shower, and I have a Laveo dry flush toilet, which I absolutely love. I actually take it out when I'm using the shower, and I leave it out. I normally shower at night, so then that it can dry out because, you know, it has electrical stuff underneath it. Love it. It works like a diaper genie. And then also, this is the way to close off the shower so you can, you know, have some privacy. So I really like it. You know, you can get all kinds of crazy van builds, but this is the best build for me. It works for me. I didn't need anything other than a workstation and a bed and a shower.
And you got some type of battery system and solar in this?
Yes. So we have solar. I have flat, flexible solar panels on the roof. Normally, you can see that the solar panels are raised. I live in the city, so I wanted to be as low profile as possible. So I had flat solar panels done, and then also I chose a darker color van so that it wouldn't stand out as much. And so I really, really love it. It's great. I'm not somebody, I don't live in the van full time, and I just use it on the weekends to travel back and forth. And then, you know, I go on these long trips. I sometimes go away sometimes for like a couple of months or so. I spent 2 months down in Florida. So this is the back. This is the garage. It's really great. I use this area to store my hose that I use to fill up my 30-gallon water tank, and just storage. These are tracks in case I ever get stuck in mud or water. Behind here is where my electrical system is, batteries and everything like that. They even put in some ports but they only work when you turn on the van. And then, I use this area for storage. You can see the extra cassettes that I have for my Laveo dry flush toilet. And when I'm driving, I put my suitcases back there, whatever else, if I wanted to put a bike back there. And then, just for privacy while I'm here in the city, I also have these curtains that I put down along with some other things, just so that people can't see into it when it's parked. So I can get some privacy and not worry about anybody breaking in or anything like that. But I've never had that kind of problem.
This is fantastic. It's a short wheelbase ProMaster.
Yeah.
It's city parkable. It's somewhat stealth, right?
It's very stealth, yeah.
Like a camper van.
Yeah.
But it's extremely functional. The fact that you have a toilet, a shower, a fridge,
yeah,
a heating system,
yeah,
a venting system.
Yes.
And what about water heater? You have hot water too?
I do. There's a Bosch hot water heater behind here as well.
Okay, and I see a gauge there on the wall.
That's the water gauge that tells you how much water is in my 30-gallon water tank. And so it has everything.
And off camera, we talked. You put about 30,000 miles on it.
I've put about 30,000 miles on it. I've driven as far north as Toronto and as far south as the Florida Keys. So now it's time to head west. I would love to go to Utah and Montana and just the open road.
So you're extended travel, weekend warrior, not full time.
No.
Could be, right?
I could be, because I'm full-time remote. So I could. So, but I'd like, creature comforts at home.
And any tips to our viewers? I get a lot of viewers that are researching van life and van builds. Any advice, anything that you thought of along the way that maybe would help someone else? Yeah.
Before I bought my van, I watched hours on hours, and then I just said, I earmarked vans. I'm like, oh, I like the way they did their shower. Oh, I like their storage system, because you can also have a system that is more of like the cafe style with you have to break down the bed every day. I'm like, that doesn't work for me. So just do your research, hours on hours of research, and then just talk to these builders. I called up Vanture and had a wonderful conversation with Laura, and she just was really great, and we went over everything. And just know that you build your own van life. I'm not beholden to being on the road every weekend or whatever. I go out when it's best for me and when it works for me. And then as a woman being out there, just remember to be as stealthy as possible. I would also recommend, as soon as I get into the van, whether I've gone to a grocery store or wherever, as soon as I get in, I lock the doors. So just be cognizant of those things. And like I said, just enjoy it. And then one last thing I have to admit, being on the road, because I mostly travel by myself, is I go out of my way to be friendly to the people in the campgrounds, because they will look out for you. And I have friends that I made all the way back in 2021 when I first made my first trip. So. And
I didn't see a microwave in there. What's cooking facility?
I have an induction cooktop that I keep in the drawer in the kitchen. I have that, and then Dash makes some really good small appliances that I use, like a little mini microwave. So
that's nice, and they're not out all the time in the way. You can pull them out when you need them.
Yes, because I knew that I needed the countertop space to, kind of move around if I wanted to stand up and work and put the laptop on the counter, that kind of thing.
Well, that's awesome. And you're documenting your journey, so
I am. I do. I have a YouTube channel called Island Flower Productions. My family's Jamaican, I'm Jamaican, and Dalia is the name of a flower. So Island Flower Productions.
I'll put links in the description, because I know our viewers are going to want to click over and check you out. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.